Live from inside Porsche Colorado Springs, it's the First Dibs podcast with our hosts. Buckle up and let's go for a ride.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't see us yet. So hopefully we're live.
Yeah, I think we are.
First Dibs podcast, live from inside Porsche Colorado Springs.
That's right.
It's Friday, May 2nd, 7:01 p.m.
Yes.
Some of you are watching us live on YouTube. Thank you.
Yes.
You get to see this beautiful, available shark blue GT4 RS behind me. That thing's sick. Look at that.
It is beautiful.
What a car. And it does look like a green screen. That doesn't look real.
Right,
I
yeah.
think we really should just take a picture and then move our studio wherever we want it to be.
Right. Like in Barbados.
Yeah, that sounds great. We probably need, like we talked about last week, better lighting and maybe makeup. Don't we look flat? Don't we look flat?
Yeah, it looks green screen.
Yeah. The car looks great, though.
Yeah, the car looks awesome.
What'd you do today?
Do I really want to recall? It started off super early, actually, for me.
Yeah?
I don't know what, like, people's expectations are as far as my, being able to be sitting at my desk at the day is, like, when that begins.
9 a.m. is my expectation of you.
That's your expectation.
Yeah.
Sure. But like
That's what it says on the door.
but the others that are out there, I mean, it starts pretty early, and I get here early.
Yeah.
Right. And I have a little bit of a routine. I can walk you through some of that routine just so the people out there kind of have an understanding.
Well, we talked about how I like to watch YouTube videos while I'm fixing my hair. I think we talked about that last week. So I think we've run out of car content, and now this is more of a lifestyle show.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to be enjoying some Taylor Fladgate 20 port later.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, it should be nice. So hurry up on your other swill.
Yep, I'll get there. But yeah, so typically I'll get here right around 8 a.m. or so. And what I do is I make a cup of coffee, which is awesome, here at the dealership. And then I go spend a few minutes with Jason and Garrett in the classic / motorsport workshop, which, by the way, Garrett just did our second GT3 RS Manti kit. We finished that one up today by doing the rear window and rear dorsal fin piece last on the car. And it's one of the Heritage, the U.S. Heritage package cars.
Tribute to the Carrera RS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my God. That
I
car
bet
is
it's
so
the
great.
only one of the tribute cars that's ever going to get that.
For sure. I believe that.
And also that's ever been tracked.
So when they first did it, they decided to leave the glass for the rear window. Did someone just break in?
No. we're good.
So they decided not to do the rear fin piece. And then after the owner of the car saw it, he's like, nah, that's it needs the rear window, right?
Do it.
So they did that today. They finished that up. But anyway, so in the morning, I'll usually be here and make a cup of coffee, go hang out with Jason and Garrett to see things that are going on. We talk about whether it's current events or, what was done, the previous day, what's happening, whether it's in the shop, if it's lifestyle, who knows, right? It's just kind of a morning wake up routine. And then I come into my office around between 8:15, 8:30, kind of get things logged in. Right?
How much coffee is left in your cup?
When I get to my office, it's either none or a little bit.
A little bit's a good measure.
But yeah, just turn things on, get logged in. Because as far as the programs that I'm utilizing every day, I think it's like 8, different windows that I float between throughout the day, which isn't too bad. But anyway, just getting all that. And sometimes there's hiccups, when loading things up. But and then I'll have tasks or whatever from the night before, getting temp tags ready or whatever it might be. But anyway, that's a fairly common routine. And then once in a while, on days like today, at 7:45, I'll receive a text message from somebody in the morning time. Hey, by the way, this is what's happening. Well, it started around 7:45 this morning, and then it didn't stop until almost 11. I mean, and it was just crazy. The amount of stuff that was happening. So the morning routine that I really kind of look forward to was completely shot, and that's whatever. I mean, that happens from time to time, but it just kind of gets you a little bit off, off pace. And anyway, so sometimes it takes an adjustment, period for things to go. But overall, today was a good day. Today was a good day. We delivered a car or two. We delivered a few. We had a gentleman fly in from Washington last minute.
3 cars, 4 cars. 4 cars left the store today.
Yeah, take delivery of a really, really cool aventurine green Carrera 4, headed to Washington. The Shore Blue 911 ST got picked up by transport.
Yep.
A 2025 Carrera got picked up by one of our local guys. And then what was the fourth? Oh, a Macan.
Macan S.
Yeah, Macan S was delivered today as well. So, today was a good Friday, good productive day. And then there's John.
I don't sell cars anymore. I'm just waiting for us to be picked up by Sky Sports or Discovery.
Right.
I was listening to the Smoking Tire podcast this week, and they had Chip Foose on.
Nice.
Who is just a hyper genius,
right?
On artistic and design and metalwork and fabrication, just
attention to detail.
Yeah, just a super stud. And I think we all got introduced to him basically by the show Overhauling, which they touched on a little bit during the Smoking Tire episode. But I have no idea why I brought that up. Isn't that great? Yeah, whatever. It was important. It was important when it started.
If we were going to talk about business, about some fresh inventory, is there anything that sticks out to you?
Yeah, the title of the show.
Okay, that's
Sintered bronze.
Manufacturer, sintered bronze magno.
Yep.
What does all that mean?
Really sweet paint.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
It's matte. It's a matte finish paint. And then this one specifically that you're talking about, the G63 AMG, it's got a matte mask already installed in the front. So you don't know, right, that there's a mask on the matte finish. And then they even covered the brush guard.
Yep. And the bumpers and the fenders. Yeah, it's all really good.
Yep.
That doesn't help me figure out why I brought up listening to Chip Foose. I'm gonna listen to the show and be like, that's what I was talking about. That's too late, John. You're an idiot. Really cool car.
2025
is the new, the new. It's 577 horsepower.
I think it's more than that.
I think it's 577 horsepower.
But it's got some kind of a hybrid.
It does. It has a 20 horsepower starter motor.
Okay.
On a 48 volt system.
Okay.
That works both to start the engine and as torque fill. So when you're low in the power and the turbos haven't spooled up yet, it can give you just that little extra bit you need to get off the line.
Okay. So what's the torque?
706.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe more.
Yeah.
Maybe more. So you get in it, you open this like bank vault door, and everybody talks about that, but it's just real. It's it's the most substantial door that has ever been put on a car. Prove me otherwise.
Yeah, no, I
bring something
agree.
by that slams or opens better than that. It still has a button.
Yeah.
How many cars do you not? They're electric. They're electrically actuated. This
Right.
is like maybe the button electrically actuates something.
I don't think so.
But it feels like you're like,
It's very mechanical.
you're
Like the
taking
thumb.
the safety off a Glock.
Yeah. It's the thumb button.
Yeah. And then you sit in it and you close the door and it gives you the THX intro. It goes, wow.
Welcome, John Deisty.
Seriously. Yeah. And then you start it.
Right.
And it's got a sport exhaust button. And
Yes.
It's got a little dialy thing that has LCD
Yes.
screens inside of it. So it's like our Sport Chrono.
Yep.
But it has a screen inside of it.
And you can change what those buttons do. Did you notice that? So each time you click on the LCD, so you're talking about the little button on the left.
I'm talking about the twisty on the right.
Oh, there's the one on the right. Yeah.
That's like our Sport Chrono.
Right.
And on the left side, right now, I guess, I didn't know it was configurable, but right now it's Sport Exhaust, Auto Stop Start.
Yes. So that button that you're talking about, when you click on the LCD screen, it rolls through different pieces. So you could do suspension, you could do AMG performance or whatever it is, or exhaust. So the one on the left is configurable as far as what those buttons do for it. It's a lot. It's a lot of tech. So also with the steering wheel, notice the 2 bars on each side, right? That I'm talking about as far as the hand
things.
Yes. That's to me. I forget what Mercedes I was in a while back that I think on the show I kind of complained about it as far as it's supposed to be hands-free operation, and where it almost has a reverse effect because there's so many controls on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
You find yourself distracted, looking at the steering wheel. But the G-Wagon, it's simpler than the previous car that I had kind of complained about. It's super easy to use, but yeah, really cool. I mean, it's really neat stuff. And the sound, but yeah, you're right, the sound that it makes. The side pipes.
Well, yeah, even before the car starts, it has a really cool welcome chime that's like you're in something really nice, something special. So I like it.
Yeah. No, it's and being the 2025, and I'm assuming that the 24 didn't have that hybrid motor. I think that's what the big
25
difference
I think is new, and they also have an all electric variant
of the G-Wagon.
of the G. Yeah, yep. It'll crab turn or
I've
tank
seen
turn.
that. Yeah, do the tank.
It'll do tank turns. This one is not. This one is thirsty.
This one is
Yes, exactly. You should probably own some stock in Patronus.
right. Shell.
Yeah, I would recommend.
Patronus. Yeah, that's a good one.
They just, one of their stations blew up in Argentina
That's too bad.
or somewhere. That's, the problem with me and the internet is I see something and I read 6 words and I'm like, that's a true statement. That happened. I saw a video. That's real.
That happened.
Some kind of gas station exploded in some country that wasn't the U.S. That's what I took from that. I'm pretty sure it was South America or Southeast Asia.
All right.
I think it was probably Malaysia. Yeah. Maybe Singapore.
It was Singapore.
It might have been Singapore. Was it Singapore?
I don't know.
Oh. That was you could have convinced me.
What other news cars?
Here's the other one that I really love. It's a 2021 Turbo S, and you can buy it with 2,000 miles for $90,000 off.
Oh, you're talking about a Taycan.
Yep.
Dang.
Doesn't matter. It's still a Porsche Turbo S that is not quite half price, but pretty damn close.
It's pretty close.
And it's stunning. It's mahogany. I think it has mahogany wheels.
It does.
Which is like color matched wheels. Love it. Mahogany is this like root beer metallic.
Right.
Would be a good way to put it. Also, Ron Burgundy. Like
right.
we already have a Ron Burgundy.
Right.
But this is even more Ron Burgundy.
It's more
Ron Burgundy than Ron Burgundy. It's got the Olia leather.
Yeah.
Which is it's just better leather.
Yeah.
Like our leather is really good.
Yes.
Our standard leather seats are really good. But when you step up to like the club level leather, that's like next. But the Olia stuff is so soft.
Yes.
And I think it's Atacama beige.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
What they do is they take the leaves off of virgin olive trees. Trees that have never produced a fruit. And they make it into a dye for the leather. Right. And so it's basically like rubbing a cow in olive oil.
Right? Yeah.
But it sounds stupid, but if you came here and touched it, you'd just instantly understand what I meant.
Yeah. When I was a kid, My mom had this a coin purse. You know what I'm talking about? Just like a little small
Yeah. Thing
coin.
that holds coins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For when they could actually, you could do something with a coin.
When you could use them, when people did use them.
When a coin was worth something.
Right. And there'd always be like a couple dollar bills, or something, stuffed in there as well. But anyway, coin purse, it was made of reindeer. And it was, being made of reindeer was stamped on it, right? It was like punched in there or whatever. That was the softest leather, right, that I had ever felt before. Yeah. This is what Olea club leather feels like. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I can understand that. Mm-hmm. Santa's retired transport company.
Yeah, no, this Taycan Turbo S is quite shocking. I mean, it started new here. It's got 1,506 miles on the odometer as it sits right now.
You know how rusty I am? I have no idea how much horsepower that thing has.
It's a lot.
I think it's 750.
That sounds about right. Yeah. When you launch it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it tunes itself down to 615.
Right.
For normal driving.
Right. Yeah. And it shifts.
Yes. 2-speed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like all good bicycles.
Right. Right. All-wheel drive. Yeah. I mean,
dynamic chassis control.
Super amazing car.
Carbon front splitter that missed our curb by... Thank goodness for
enough.
Yep. GPS lift. I bet at one point when someone took that for a test drive, they hit lift here and they saved it. And that just saved us $7,000 in front end.
Right. Yeah. That is a beautiful car.
God, that car is so good. Yeah. Like Lauren just took our Macan up to Greeley and did 150 miles, still at 160 miles left in range.
168.
And I don't know how far it is exactly, but it just, she could make the round trip up there. When are you driving more than that? Like, really?
Right, yeah.
And you drive a lot.
I don't drive that far.
But you don't drive that far.
No.
And so this Taycan, I think the one Achilles heel it had when it launched was that the EPA range estimates weren't great.
Yeah, shortchanged it.
Yeah. But she got into an argument with my father-in-law saying you really need to watch your range as you're driving up there because your car is going to be lying to you. You're going to get up there and you're going to have 50 miles left and you're going to be freaking out. And she's like, no, I really don't think that's true. We've driven it on some long trips and it all seems to be pretty accurate. He has a Tesla.
Right.
And like, if the range is accurate and everything is working, I don't know why like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like range anxiety is a real thing.
Oh, totally.
But with that car would go 250 miles on a charge.
Yeah.
The Taycan Turbo S.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Why? When do you drive more than that? Right? And this thing's 750 horsepower?
When we do our classic rallies.
Yeah.
Right. That's a long day.
That's a long day.
Now, granted, that's pretty spirited driving. But those are, on average, around 200 miles for that adventure.
Yep.
And it's a long day of spirited driving.
Yep.
And then with the car being so smart the way that it is with the onboard recuperation, all that kind of stuff, I would totally take it. I mean, a fully charged, granted, I would totally take this car on one of our rallies like that, that is expected to be around 200 miles.
Yeah.
And we do. We have a client that takes his Taycan Cross Turismo on our rallies, and he seems to do just fine.
One of the first Taycan Turbo S's that I sold went on Normal Guy Supercar on one of his events. And the guy was a seasoned EV enthusiast, so he knew what to do, but he participated in that whole thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think those cars are being slept on.
No, this is, this one's a beautiful car. Yeah. Actually, speaking of electric cars and fresh inventory, we took in on trade is a Ford Mach-E Mustang Premium.
Yep. Traded for a Taycan 4S.
That's right.
Cross Turismo.
Which is a great car. The Mustang Mach-E is an interesting car. My next door neighbor has one, and it's kind of funny. He's this big Iowa corn farmer kind of guy. And when he got that car initially, he told me, he said, I've wanted a Mustang all my life. Go figure, the first one I get looks like an SUV and it's an electric car. Right?
Yep.
But he said, he's like, I got to admit, though, it's a lot of fun, right? It's a really cool car. And he loves to give me a hard time about the Porsche stuff, saying, he said, I could smoke anything you got in your showroom, in 100 feet. Yeah, I believe you, but that's
almost.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Well, anyway, so I got to experience the Mach-E a little bit. It's a pretty interesting, fascinating car. And there's two big takeaways that I have from it. One is that I learned that the one pedal driving can be turned off, and the range is drastically improved when you drive around with it coasting versus with the one pedal type operation. I mean, drastically changed, the range side of it. But the other thing is Ford has this, or at least the Mach-E, I should say, has this feature called Blue Cruise.
Yes.
Like Blue Chews?
Yeah.
But Blue Cruise?
Yeah.
Wicked impressive system. I didn't know that it had it. And fortunately, it's intuitive, and it says Blue Cruise available. Click the button, click the cruise button to activate it. Awesome.
Nap time?
Just about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very close to that. Incredibly impressive system, and I wouldn't have known that it has that if it didn't come on and say it's available. It blew me away, to be completely honest.
Yeah, so that's their advanced ADAS.
Yeah,
advanced
it's
driver
their
assistance
autonomous driving.
systems.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, in every situation, it even tells you when a lane change is available. So if you have the cruise set at 90 miles an hour or whatever, and you're stuck behind a car doing 65, and then the left lane is open, it knows that, and it prompts you. It says lane change available. Just click the lane, your turn signal button. Preparing for lane change. Moves over, accelerates. Right?
Yeah, buddy.
If you want to get back over on the right, click it up. Preparing for lane change, comes back over. I mean, obviously you got to be paying attention, to see if it's going to tell you those signs or whatever. But Ford, great job.
Yeah.
That is it's a fantastic system. I mean, I've been in Teslas, right, that have full autonomous driving, and the system, worked well, whatever. But this system impressed me. And John, I've been doing this a long time, buddy.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, it's got to be pretty freaking special in order to be impressed anymore. I'm not blown away by the Mach-E, necessarily, but that function of the car was worth it.
It's cool to see a little glimpse into the future of what could be possible.
Yeah, totally.
Because, I think we've touched on it a couple times, but if I could get into my Cayenne or Macan and say, take me to LA and do it after work and just relax and have it get me there.
Right.
And it'll wake me up when it has to charge or when I need gas, but it'll pull in and say, hey, flesh bag.
Yep.
Go do your thing.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
It would open up what you could do.
Yeah.
And I think it could actually even redesign what an automobile was.
Oh, yeah.
Think about you could put 4 beds in a big box fan and then you just take a little nap ski and, the lake place in Minneapolis.
Right.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. I understand the concept. I mean, as far as if every car had that ability, then, that's what you would do. Take me to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Right?
Be amazing.
Take me to this dress.
Yeah. I'd be scared if I was an airline.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. That's interesting.
Okay. We have 2 questions.
We do have some questions.
Yep.
Stephen H.
I think I'm going to start with Brandon.
Brandon?
The wine in the background was not discounted. That's full price wine. And it's a port, which is wine, but it's for after dinner. We had a nice Chianti with our Italian food.
Yes, it was quite delightful.
Yeah. That was also a full price wine.
We did pasta. So I'm back
to the lifestyle.
I'm carb
portion of the
loading.
show.
right now. This past week was my birthday week. My birthday was this last Tuesday, I think is what it was. And what was super ironic about this last Tuesday and birthday stuff or whatever is I'm not one to celebrate much of anything at all. And Miss Lisa, who does our titles, she's in our office on Tuesdays. 1 day a week is when she's down here. And Lisa is a fantastic cook. I know her baking because she brings in cookies and cakes and, that kind of stuff on occasion. Not every Tuesday, but she brings it in on occasion. And Miss Beth, who is our receptionist, her birthday was on April 18th. And her husband's birthday was on the 29th, was on Tuesday as well. Well, Lisa knew that Beth's birthday was kind of overlooked, if you will. And so she brought in a carrot cake for Beth's birthday. And it turned out that her husband's birthday was on that day. And Miss Lisa told Miss Beth, please make sure that Justin gets a piece. No one knew that it was my birthday because I'm not one, I don't do Facebook. It's not really out there. And so in an ironic way, Miss Lisa made my
Baked
favorite
you a cake.
She made my favorite cake.
That's pretty
and
special.
And I took a giant piece.
Yep. I didn't get a piece.
You didn't?
No, that's okay. Yeah.
And it was delicious. And then my parents were kind enough. They came into town and grilled. My mom, hey mom, is actually in New York City. She's in Manhattan with my sister and my aunt and her partner, having a good, girls' weekend out there. My mom makes probably the best carrot cake on the planet. So ironic is on Tuesday night for dessert, I had my mom's carrot cake.
Double up. I bet your vision is great.
It was awesome. It was my sugar. It was fantastic. And so this week I'm indulging. Tonight, John, we were getting hungry, ordered pasta that we haven't had, for a while. And oh man.
We meaning the First Dibs podcast together for dinner. I have had plenty of pasta lately.
I have enjoyed every morsel.
Ooh, we got $9.99, and Brendan's claiming an extra penny for your birthday.
Oh, nice.
$10 for Justin's birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Pretty special.
I really wish I knew where that went.
It's loading up a Visa card.
Oh, okay.
And then they send it to us once we've made $20,000. So we're close. We're pretty close.
Yeah. John really needs to get to 1,000. You need 1,000 followers.
That'll do something for us.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what.
we'll do something.
We're getting closer.
Yeah.
We keep racking them up.
Yeah. No, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you very much so. Absolutely.
Okay. Next question. Given a budget of $150,000,
Okay.
you got to buy 2 Porsches.
Ooh, okay.
What you buy?
I think we've kind of been over this a little bit before, and we have to set some boundaries. It's not like you can go buy a 944 for $1,000 and then.
Well, you could, but it'd be shitty.
All right. Given a budget of $150K, which 2 Porsche models would you select? New, used, combination? Would you?
All right. So
can you get a new one for $150? Yeah, you can get.
You can get a Porsche. You can't get a 911.
Yeah.
But.
That's kind of. I didn't even read the whole question. I would do a new Boxster GTS 4-liter and a 944 turbo or a 996. The new setting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He likes our background.
Yeah.
So let's think about this as use case. Are you putting more money into your daily driver or more money into your weekend toy, or are you putting equal parts?
More money into the weekend.
Okay. So
Sorry.
let's say you want a. Well, what are you gonna? Are you gonna buy? Are you gonna go 2 weekend cars, or are you gonna do? Do you want something to drive daily?
Probably 2 weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 weekend cars.
And you'll keep the Ranger.
Oh, totally. Ranger and Mazda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have those forever, man.
Okay. I'm going to pretend like Lauren doesn't have the Macan EV for this question.
Wait, I think Steven just gave us. Well, okay, he gave us a budget of $150K.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why. I mean, I'm keeping the Ranger and the Mazda because they don't cost
Yep.
anything. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I think I want the nicest 2014 Cayenne GTS
Ooh.
in Peridot that I can find.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to spend $50,000 on that car.
Wow.
So it's going to be really,
That's a good one.
really, really nice.
Yeah. Peridot stitching.
Yeah.
Full leather.
Yep. Yep. All the things.
Yeah.
20,000 miles.
That's cool. I did not
Yeah.
see that coming.
Yep.
That's cool, man.
That's my daily driver thing. And I'm going to buy it certified.
Nice.
So it's going to have a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty. I'm going to buy an extra year of CPO. So I'm going to have 3 years of warranty.
Okay.
Can I get that on a 14?
Yes.
Just about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just about. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So now I have $100,000 left,
Yeah.
and I'm going to buy a Miley 2018 Carrera T manual with ceramics
Nice. Wow.
in Miami blue.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's pretty sweet, man. That's an amazing
That's my pair.
combination. That's a pretty amazing combination. I like that. And that's super realistic. And you're spending pretty good money for each one of those, really. I mean, so you're getting nice.
I think a ceramic brake Carrera T is a little more than that. But if you found one with 40,000 miles,
it wouldn't be more than $100,000. So do you remember, I mean, just not that long ago, a few years ago, well, obviously not that long ago because those were 2018s and 19s. $100,000 was the magic number.
Yeah.
You couldn't sell one for more than that.
Nope.
But if it was 99, it'd go right away,
Yep.
right? But if you asked 101, it'd sit forever.
even the Miami blue one that our buddy bought,
Yeah.
that was $144,000 MSRP.
Ugh. Yeah.
It had so much of everything. That was crazy.
So no, but those have come up, right? You know,
Yep.
since that point, and no, that's great. I think that's a super realistic combination. What's kind of funny is that I mean the view that people watching this can't see right now is that when I'm looking outside, I can see a couple 356s, a GT3 RS, an 85 Coupe, a 66 911, 74 911 Carrera over here, and the more that I'm thinking about it is, I absolutely love the sound and the feel and the drive of a 996 Carrera 4S.
Yeah.
And I happen to really, really enjoy, driving a really nice 356. So I'm seeing this super cool not Ruby Star.
Carmine.
No, it's not Carmine. It's red.
That's pretty darn close to Carmine.
It's not Ruby Star. It's red. Ruby Red. It's Ruby Red 356B. That is $120,000. And then I'm pretty sure I could find a pretty nice, it'd be Miley, it'd have 100,000 plus miles on it, which is fine. But 996 Carrera 4S Coupe for $30,000.
You can't find that.
Yeah, that's not out there anymore.
No, sorry.
So I'm going to work a deal.
A 99 Carrera 4 just sold for 36.
Was it an Aero Kit car?
No,
Oh, man.
it was white.
Okay, so I got to work a deal
Yeah.
on the 356 and find a Miley C4S, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But those are my...
I think 90 for a 356, 60 for a C4S.
That's a pretty nice C4S.
Yeah.
I don't need to spend that kind of money.
50. That's it.
All right,
That's
so
as cheap as it
$100,000,
gets.
$100,000
yeah.
on the 356. All right. So if I'm listening to myself in the future,
Yeah.
I got to work a deal on the 356. But I think
That'd be a good set.
they're two weekend cars.
That'd be a great set.
The 996 I really could drive every day.
Yep.
But I mean, they're fun special cars.
I like our buddy Ryan Barkey from that car show.
That's right.
He talks about garbage miles, and he's got this awesome GT4. It's a 2020 manual, silver over black comfy seats, black wheels, great car. but he might have 10,000 miles on it now. I don't think he's gotten there yet. And he doesn't just drive it to get groceries or to commute. He drives it with intention. And I think there's something to be said for that.
For sure.
Like, I would love to have a 911 as a daily driver.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be amazing. But there's something cool about keeping it special and only using the miles for miles that count.
Yeah.
And, not just transit stuff.
I just read Brandon's comment. 75 guards red. Maintenance deferred 944s for 150K seems doable. $2,000 a piece.
But Brendan, sorry, two. You were supposed to buy 2 cars.
Right.
So
Not 75.
no, you're not supposed to buy 75 guards, red cars. You could corner the market.
Right.
Get there before Singer does.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should talk about that in a minute.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You imagine finding 944 donors.
Yeah.
Sending them off to Brandon and getting back an $800,000 944.
Be a sick car.
We were talking about this just the other day. I don't want to go too far in advance, but there's a 944 in our future.
Oh yeah.
I really think that 944s are kind of coming into they're coming to the day.
Let's make a commitment.
Like the Kentucky Derby.
We made 4 commitments on the Kentucky Derby. D. Whitworth.
Hang on. No, we won't go
Beckman.
there yet. We won't go there yet.
Let's make a commitment. We're going to come in on a Wednesday. We're going to bring some GoPros and some suction cups. And we're going to do 2 dudes in a 944. And we're going to make a 20-minute video. And we're
Okay.
going to have it edited. And it's going to be our audition for the reboot of Top Gear America.
I like it.
Maybe that's the twist. Maybe Top Gear needs to have all 3 presenters in the car at the same time. So if you want to do this, we're going to find a Wednesday. We're going to go drive it up Pikes Peak all the way to the top with 3 people in a 944. Mic'd up.
So Grand Tour, one of their last shows was exactly that, where all 3 of them were in it was the Ford whatever wagon. It was like the Ford Cortina wagon or whatever. I don't know what it was called.
It sounds
but all
like a
3
great
of them,
show.
Yeah, it was. It was a fantastic show. Yeah, they did. Yeah, that was pretty smart. Yeah, no, I think the 944 is coming into its day,
Yep.
here very soon, because it's the age where, I mean, the 16 Candles movie or whatever. So there's just people that are coming into that time frame where they're becoming, whether it's empty nesters or whatever the case may be, but they've got money, to afford something that they always wanted.
Yeah.
That they couldn't have because they were a kid or in high school or whatever the situation may be. But now they're of the age that they like, I can do this and I can spend this and enjoy and have something that I always wanted. So the magic is finding a really, really nice,
Yep.
well cared for 944 or 928, maybe it.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, I mean, for you and me that are in the business that, see the best and the worst of them all, there are very few bests, in that world.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's really, really hard to find the best of the best. And we may have one of them coming in here pretty soon. We'll see. So be ready.
Okay. So, did we handle that? I think we handled that.
I think so.
I think we're good. Scott wants to know if we're into watches.
I love watches.
I love watches too, but I don't know anything about them, so I'm not going to add anything to this conversation right now.
I can't afford to play the game of the big watches. Yeah. I'll be brutally honest with you, Scott. I'm not a Rolex person. I've heard them referred to as wedding watches, and I think that's kind of accurate. And I don't know why, because I mean, I obviously understand that Rolex is a very nice watch, but it's just, it's like the story about how I got involved with Porsche in the very beginning involved, like, it was a roommate that said, go into BMW. They got all kinds of schools. And I told him, nothing about BMW excites me. If I was going to do something, I would go to Porsche. And he said, don't even try it. I don't know anyone that's ever been accepted to that.
Yeah.
Well, here we are, right? Nothing about Rolex excites me. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
I get
think
excited about how the hand is just like.
To me, that's a Panerai. Panerai
Are they even smoother?
Is the smoothest movement. Like, to me, that's that, and maybe it's, I don't know why it is that way, but to me, what you're describing to me is a Panerai. There's just, to me, the Rolex is like the BMW. It's a nice watch. It just seems like everyone's got one, you know, like, and to me that.
Do you have one?
No, I don't want one.
I don't have one
I would
either.
never buy one. I honestly would never buy one.
Okay.
I wouldn't spend my money there. Breitling, I love Breitling. I think that's super cool. Panerai, I think I love Panerai. Porsche design. I mean, I'm actually wearing a Porsche watch now that I like. It's an unfortunate story about why I bought this watch. So I won't go into that. I have a couple of Porsche design watches. And I mean, I'm not, the only reason I have that is because I'm a Porsche person, you know.
I want one of the original chronograph ones.
I would like to have that.
That's what I want.
I'm with you on that.
Lieberman just got one. And the thing I'm running into is I don't know the right one to buy.
The original one.
Yeah, but
In that, it's the simpler, the better. However, the more movements, you know, like the more complications is cool, but the simpler, the better.
I think it was different manufacturers that did it.
Yeah.
And there was like
there were.
Orfina, and I think Tag might have made some. And
Tag, no.
No? Who else did?
Tag, because I was looking then, I was expecting that. And Tag was never a manufacturer of them, at least from what I read.
And this is what I'm running into is like, I want somebody that knows what they're talking about with specifically Porsche Chronograph 1. So I can buy one of the 1974 original versions that are probably pretty cheap.
Right.
3, 5, 10 grand.
Yeah.
Something like that. Not 50.
Yeah.
I don't have, you know, platinum watch money. And I'm a klutz. Like, I need something I can bang around.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and so.
I'm not. I take care.
Yeah, I know. I don't think anybody listening to this show has any question of who the anal retentive one is and who is the guy that doesn't give a shit and can't keep his own. Like, when I wash my socks is when I have no socks. Everyone understands that. Yep.
I do really want to give a shout out to Sheffield watches because that's something that John introduced me to.
God, those are sweet.
They're amazing. And I don't know. I mean, we have friends of the show that are very familiar with Sheffield watches.
I've met Jay.
I've never met him, and we really want to get him on the show when he's here in Colorado. But I think now, I mean, ever since John introduced me to him, I think I own like 8 Sheffield watches.
Yeah.
One of them happens to be for lefties. It's a left-handed, watch. I'm left-handed, and for me, it's natural to wear my watch on my right wrist. That's not a normal thing, right? Most people wear it on their left wrist. Well, anyway, what's kind of funny, so being a lefty's watch, the crown is on the opposite side of the watch, right? So a left-handed person could theoretically, change time or whatever without taking it off, but it digs into your hand.
Yeah, that's what everybody with a right-handed watch deals with.
Right. So I love it. I mean, it's beautiful. And I like that Sheffield makes a lot of automatic watches because I'm fascinated by automatic watches.
Yep.
And just super cool designs, that kind of stuff. They make a 24-hour watch. That was one of the first ones that I bought, which is super fun. But anyway, so a big shout out to Sheffield watches. I think if you're not familiar with that brand, is look them up online because they're not expensive.
No, the most affordable thing.
But they're really high quality and just super cool and a lot of times limited runs. I introduced Randy, one of our sales guys, to Sheffield, and he cursed me, saying, "Damn it!"
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
yeah. They're awesome. They're fantastic.
I would like to do. We made that Seiko, the custom Seiko for a client.
That was sweet.
I would like to do one of those for myself.
You should.
That I think would be a really fun project, just to kind of come up with. I want to make this thing. There's, I think we used NH Horology, maybe, was the guy that did it. I I think he's in Canada, so maybe those got more expensive. But there's another guy in LA. I'm sure there's a lot of people that customize Seikos. But those seem like really cool things to me. Is just to piece together what you wanted to build.
Yeah.
You just it's like making your own hot rod.
You just put an idea in my brain about Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
So remind me.
Okay. Listen to our show. Then you'll note to Justin's self. Remind him about Canada.
Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That's watches.
Yes.
In a nutshell.
Also, that is a Spider RS outside. We have cobalt blue, white, and black. And then just took in a shark blue, this color.
Yeah, and a vanadium gray.
And a vanadium gray should be coming soon.
Yep.
People are sleeping on those cars.
Yeah, they really are.
Yep.
They really are. I mean, get ready for it, everybody.
The one problem with them is that they didn't come in a manual.
Yeah.
If that would have been a manual, that would be a $500,000 car.
It'd be pretty ridiculous. But the beautiful thing
PDK is better.
Yeah, it is better for the car.
It just works.
And there's not a manual out there. So it's not like...
Yeah, you're not competing
waiting.
it. Yeah.
You're not waiting for anything.
Yep.
IWC, the original... I could see that. Yeah, IWC.
You Grow, I Grow
Yes.
has had a 98 C4S since he was 19.
Wow. That's awesome.
Number one, congratulations on still being alive.
Right, yeah.
That's impressive.
And you sold it.
Yeah, I get that. You had 21 years with it.
I guess, yeah.
Like that's a great run with a car. You have done everything you can probably do in a car.
Yeah. Right?
I if you're 19 in a Porsche C4S, tell me something you haven't done in that car. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Now trying to find a 997.1 manual turbo or a 599 GTB.
599 is a pretty insane car.
I'm having a hard time opposing that viewpoint.
They're huge, though. The 599 is giant.
No, they're not.
It is.
No, the 812 is giant.
No, the 599 is a big car.
But
it's got a hood that just goes for days out in front.
So do I. You could have seen it in my C4S back in 98.
Yeah.
I think... So if you were 19 and you had it for 21 years, you're my age, you're our age, get the V12 Ferrari. Get it out of your system.
Maybe.
Now is the time. Do it.
And I think the 599 is one that's really held up well.
No, the pricing is great.
Yeah, in the Ferrari world, I mean, you can lose your ass overnight.
No,
right?
those are cheap cars. And get the dual clutch car. Pay $50,000 to have it manual swapped,
right?
And enjoy it,
Yeah.
and be in it for probably you're in it for like ultra low mile 996 or 997 turbo money, 200 grand.
Yeah, maybe. Really, you can get a 599 GTB for 200,000.
I think you can. I think you can get one and manual swap it for 200 grand.
Really?
Pretty sure.
That's a pretty amazing car. I mean, I'm not in the Ferrari market. Where my head was going is if I was doing a V12 Ferrari, I would just go for the 512.
Those are awesome, but I wouldn't.
700 horsepower, naturally aspirated.
The 812.
No.
What 512?
Or what am I thinking
512 is the old Testarossa.
No, not that. What am I thinking of? The one that's from just like 7 years ago.
The 812.
No, it's
super
not
fast.
an 812.
The F12.
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 F12
So
Berlinetta.
that replaced the 599. 599 is better. It's prettier. It's got the Enzo motor.
Wow. Yeah, if you can get one of those for 200 grand, that's pretty amazing.
So here's an 07 599, 111 grand. It's sold in April.
Good Lord.
It's purple over tan.
Purple.
It's got 37,000 miles.
Wow.
And for another 50, you could have it manual swapped.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
That is a lot of car,
That's
man.
like...
That is a lot of car.
Look at that. Yeah.
Daytona seats.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm sorry. This is the one time in my life
Wow.
I will advise you to buy a Ferrari.
Yeah, no, I mean
over
that's pretty
a Porsche,
crazy.
but
yeah,
that's
that's pretty crazy.
That's extra value.
You know, what's the thing someone told
Check
me
the
once?
brakes. I think those brakes are like ultra expensive.
Yeah, extremely. What is it? Everybody wants an Italian in bed, but a German in the kitchen. Something like that. Where
That
it's
feels
not in the kitchen.
No, I think I want the German in bed. They're freaks. Right?
Maybe in real life.
Haven't you seen the Super Troopers? Where
maybe in real life.
Who
I
wants
think
a mustache ride?
Yeah, it's the
Those
idea.
were Germans, not Italians.
The idea of an Italian car is kind of a fantasy, but the German is the consistency. So it's like Chris Rock. He says, "Do you want?" I can't say it.
Yeah, don't try to do Chris Rock.
You know what I mean, though. You want to be
Yes.
married. You want to be married to the German, right? That's the one that's going to get you through life, and everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's great. It's longevity. The Italian is like
20 years?
it's the
20 years with a car?
German. Yes, German.
That is some love.
Whereas
I
in the Italian is kind of like
spend 2 years with a 599 manual swap.
you'll be over it.
Maybe not. That's a pretty special car.
I don't know. I think every time you take that car into the Ferrari
That's true.
service center,
That's true.
You're gonna be like, wait a minute.
So
it used to cost me $1,500 a year to.
do you
maintain my
remember
911.
when my dad bought the 2002 911 Turbo from us?
I thought it was an 03.
It was a 2.
Yeah, I remember.
It had
We
20.
split a clutch with him after you drove it for a weekend.
That was not my fault. It wasn't the clutch. The clutch was squeaky.
It was after you drove it.
That's true. I found the problem. You're welcome. Do you want a clutch that goes?
What kind of movie are we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not doing an impression of the turtle humping a shoe. But the guy that traded that in bought a Cayenne from us, a Cayenne Turbo, and we kind of started chatting about the car, and he gave me one of my favorite little anecdotes where, like, when that car was brand new, he had a friend that had just bought, I think it would be a 550. I don't think there were 575s yet. And they live up in Aspen, and they both went ripping the cars for a whole day.
Yeah.
Off through the mountains. He went home, parked it, got up the next morning, went and got eggs, made breakfast.
Yeah.
His buddy in the Ferrari turned the car on to do the same thing. It had a check engine light. He brought it to Ferrari, $7,000. And it was the first time I had heard.
Yeah.
Now I guess it's third. I don't know. Is that secondhand story? Whatever.
Yeah.
But that was as close as I've come to these things. They're cars.
Yeah.
They work like cars. They breathe like cars.
Yeah.
You drive them like a car, and they're happy. But with that said,
Yeah.
manual swap your Ferrari.
I like it. No, I'm all good with that. Absolutely. So you grow, I grow.
Yeah.
I think that's your answer from First Dibs anyway.
Yep.
What else do we have there?
New Singer.
Oh, that's
We can
right.
spend a couple minutes on the new Singer. The car is called the Carrera Coupe.
Yeah.
I guess that trademark wasn't patented well enough.
No, what-
Maybe somebody missed a
Right, yeah.
renewal on that.
They're fired.
Yeah. maybe Carrera Panamericana. It means race. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
a word. I don't know. But Singer, a couple years ago, actually, probably 3 years ago, on our first show, just before that, they unveiled the Turbo to us, which came out to the public a few months later.
The turbo study.
The
yeah.
Turbo study. Now they're calling it the Classic Turbo,
Oh, sure.
but we'll call it the Turbo
Well,
study.
because
forever.
there's a DLS turbo study, isn't there?
there's a DLS Turbo. That's what I'd call that one.
Right.
But anyway, So that car is reaching customers now. It's a turbocharged 3.8. Big motor is 510 horsepower, based on a 964.
Yep.
But to imitate, to
930.
improve on the 930. So it's the impact bumper generation cars, and they've done it beautifully. It's got the air intakes where the shark fin rock guards are.
Yep.
It's got nods to the impact bumpers, the inside, the seat controls look like correct generation seat controls.
Yeah.
Matt Farah and Zach Clapman just got to drive it. It's the first singer they got to drive, and they're like, this is the best thing ever. So go watch that video. But the Carrera Coupe, they're going to make 100 of them.
Wow.
It's basically like the turbo look option for a 1980s generation Carrera. So it's turbo bodywork,
Okay.
but with a naturally aspirated engine.
Oh, it's a turbo look.
Yeah. Yep. M491.
That's right.
If you're in the know. Get it with a couple different wing options, a couple different front end options, pop-up driving lights.
That's pretty sick.
That was pretty cool.
That's
I
pretty
thought that
cool.
was a fun little idea. But the way those guys are just doing cars, the build quality is amazing. The design work is incredible. They're working with Cosworth, I think, on the engine. 4-liter, 420 horsepower.
Wow. Jeez.
8,000 RPM. So
Man.
pushes harder, revs higher, and probably weighs. I think the turbo weighs just under 3,000 pounds. So drop off an intercooler and some turbos, maybe save 100. Maybe it's 2,600 pounds.
Maybe 2,800 pounds.
Yeah,
Something like that.
somewhere there. But who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a great. I appreciate that car. I think that'll be really fun. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
That sounds cool.
It's also going to be $3 million.
right.
They haven't announced prices,
No.
but I don't know. Maybe it undercuts the turbo. If it undercut the turbo and you could get that car for 7 to 8.
But they're only making 100.
Yeah.
And how many of the turbo studies are they making? Did they say that?
I thought it was $299.
Yeah,
but
I think so. It sounds
it was
right.
$399 of the classics, $75 of the DLS.
Yeah. But anyway.
Something.
No, that's cool. It's neat to see that they're moving forward. They're continuing. It's not, and they're continuing with different projects, which is pretty fun. It's not.
Yeah, I like that. They didn't just rest on the classic, which may still be my favorite forever.
Sure.
Those are really ultra special little things.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Oh, let's see here. Did we have any other questions to answer before the end?
Car Chrono Works builds silos to order. I'm wondering if that's Seiko's and auto-corrected. That's probably Ian, our buddy that was on our first episode with the Shift guys, who then moved to North Carolina. So
We have a
maybe we can make him make me a watch.
Seiko connection.
Well, let's Seiko the shit out of that.
I got one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's a cool one. Brown,
neat.
right?
Yeah, it's brown, but it's see-through.
Yeah.
Not just like the back, right? But the face of it is see-through. You can see the complications through the face. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
There you go.
All right. You got anything else to close the show out? Nothing else on the 963 streetcar?
I'm a little shocked that nobody's talking about it. Like, that felt like if I was Porsche and I dropped that nugget and everyone was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you guys idiots? Do you know what we just said?
Yeah.
Like, did we say it too quiet? For those of you in the back,
Yeah. Right.
we're building a Le Mans race car for the street.
So I've had a few friends send me the Instagram
Yeah.
reel, of the 50 years ago, and imagine if,
Yeah.
and then they show the halo, like the
flash.
shadow. Yeah, no, I think, or maybe are people just expecting it to come out to be like a $5 million car, like we think it's going to be,
Yeah. It's going to be.
and they're just kind of like, like that. Yeah, that's badass, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw my hat in the ring because I'm not swinging $5 million for a car. Well,
I think a little bit we were talking about this earlier. They're like, we do pretty well. We're probably in the top 90% of Americans for earning for our households.
Wow.
I know. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. Right.
But it's probably true.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But to get to 95, that's a step.
Yeah.
But to get to 97,
Yeah.
that's a step. And then to get to 98,
Yeah.
99.
Right.
And if you're talking a $5 million car, I mean, you're talking like 99.5 percentile people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
while even though we are probably in that percentage, we're probably still closer to 0 than we are to 99.5.
Right.
Like the
It's exponential.
yes, the tipping past that, it's like I'm not quite sure how I do that. So if anyone has any ideas,
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. I think brands need a halo car and something to push them forward. And I think that's still, even though short of us winning we predicted for the Kentucky Derby that there are going to be, it's going to be a 4-way tie between Mohawk, awesome Mohawk,
Something Mohawk.
the crowd favorite, and our new profession, journalism.
Is that no? We didn't pick that one.
Yeah, we picked journalist. We picked journalist.
I don't think we did.
Well, you were supposed to.
No,
That was the easy money.
no.
And then Tits McGee. And
No connection.
D. Whitworth, Sandman. No, he wasn't
No.
Sandman. Who's he?
John has this all mixed up.
I'm closer than you are, Mr. No Answers.
Yeah.
But we picked them all to tie.
It doesn't tell me who I bet on.
This is going to be the worst error.
No, it's the Mohawk one. I don't think we picked journalism.
We did pick journalist.
Journalists?
Yeah, because that was the smart one.
Did we pick Sandman? No.
No.
What is Toby Keith's thing?
Oh, it is journalism. Well, shit. Fuck me sideways. I was wrong. Flying Mohawk. It was Flying
Mohawk.
Oh, sorry. It was Tiz-tastic, not Tits McGee. I thought it was Tits-tastic. Maybe this is a anyway. And Render Judgment.
That's right. That's
I think we picked
Render
Render Judgment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? I thought we
We picked
did,
Render Judgment. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Because we based our decisions off of owner names.
Yeah, trainer names.
Trainer names. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There
was a fourth
There's
one.
one in here we missed.
There's a fourth one. It's that's so dumb. This app, like it doesn't tell me who I bet on. I know the numbers.
Oh, what are the numbers?
8, 11, 14.
8 is journalism.
Journalism. 11.
11 is Flying Mohawk.
Okay. 14.
Tits-tastic.
15.
Render Judgment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got it. So we picked them all to tie. And if they do, if it's a 4-way tie,
This will be our last show.
we will own all of Bitcoin. So that's probably going to happen.
Yes. So everybody be watching tomorrow around 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yep.
For the Kentucky Derby, which is a big deal. And just be rooting for numbers 8, 11, 14, and 15. And
There you go.
We'll make this show so much better if we win.
I would make that commitment.
All right.
Yep.
Anything else for the immediate purpose?
No, I think that was good.
Okay. Well, this has been a super fun show. I really, really love the engagement that we've had from everybody.
That's
on the
been
show.
great.
It's super fun. Stephen H., thank you so much. You grow, I grow, awesome. Hey, FPB branded one. Also, and Scott, thank you.
Thanks for the money,
everybody.
Yeah.
Right, for making this super fun to do. So anyway, that's all I've got for the First Dibs podcast from inside Porsche Colorado Springs. I'm Justin.
I'm John.